this is Chris from IAMX. Welcome to Wild and Rare. These are the questions sent by the Rock Zone readers. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to try and answer them. I haven't even thought about it yet, but let's see. So, Eva from Madrid asks, Metanoia is quite a dark record. Are you okay? Thank you very much, Eva. I am okay, yes. I'm very well now. I went through a bit of a dark period before I made the record, but I feel much better now. I've done a lot of work on myself, on my mind, and making the record really helped me. So, we have Stefan from Barcelona, and he's asking, what do you like so much about Berlin that you decided to move there? Well, I actually don't live in Berlin anymore, but when I did live in Berlin, Berlin was a very attractive, sexy, cool, dark city. Very cheap for artists, which is great. It means that you can really have a lot of psychological freedom to explore yourself. It's very cheap, so you end up having a lot of time, and that's really good for artists. But you can also get a bit sucked into a dark hole there. You can lose yourself in the clubbing and in the nightlife and in cheap bars. So eventually I moved out of Berlin. I got myself an industrial house just outside of Berlin, and I built a small artistic orphanage there where I made all of the IAMX videos and I recorded all the albums. And then eventually I ended up moving away from Berlin because I've always moved on, and I like to look forward. I like to search for new experiences, new cultural inspiration. So now I live in Los Angeles, which is the total opposite of Berlin, but both beautiful cities. Okay, Sergio from Barcelona asks, do you have any pet peeves when it comes to performing live? Well, I think I've done so many shows in my life now that you get to the point where things start to not really bother you anymore. The only thing I don't like is when there's a huge barrier between me and the crowd, and if I can't touch the people and they can't touch me, I feel very pissed off about that. Don't like that. Okay, Alexander from Sevilla asks, you seem to be very interested in the visual aspect of music. Do you spend a lot of time thinking about your own image? Do you like to go shopping, for example? I'd say I'm a bit self-conscious. I'm not particularly vain. It's difficult for me to walk past a mirror and not look at myself. But that's more of a self-conscious thing. Is there something wrong? Is my hair really bad? Or I grew up with my mom and my sister being very strong characters in my life, so I had a lot of feminine input when I was a child. So I definitely have a feminine side to me, which likes to explore image, but the masculine side of me likes to destroy that image. So when I get on stage, if I dress myself up, if I spend a lot of time putting strange makeup on, I like to get on stage and tear it apart and become an animal, which is kind of the anti-image statement. Okay. Do I like to go shopping? Yeah, with the right person. Actually, I'm better going shopping by myself. I'm a bit of a nightmare to shop with. Okay, Lewis from Valencia asks, why do you think electronic music has taken over all kinds of genres? Is that just a trend, or is it just how popular music will be from now on? I think electronic music is so popular because it's actually technically more practical to make. So many young people or many people without money can pick up a cheap computer and they can make incredible art, and that's a revolution in a way. I think electronic music has given people the tools that maybe couldn't do that before, to explore their creativity, and in some ways that's extremely good. So that's probably why electronic music is so pervasive. I love it because I can be alone. I can really explore myself, and I can totally express myself in ways that I don't think I could do with a band. If I was recording with a band, I can experiment a bit more, and I can really get my message across. So I think it's a very powerful medium, and it's going to continue for a long time. So Ivan from Valladolid asks, your music has a strong sensual component. Do you consider yourself a very sexual person? Yes. I think sex is very simple, and there's I like the way that it takes me out of my analytical brain. So if I have sex, or if I'm thinking about sex, the world is a easier place for me to deal with. And I think the psychology of sexual relationships between people and particularly creative, artistic people is a very interesting area. So yes, it is interesting for me. I like to write about that because it's a fascinating subject. Carla from Madrid asks, which is the biggest lesson you learned during your time in Sneaker Pimps? Well, patience, I think, is the biggest lesson that I learned. Being with a bunch of pretty hardcore art student band members. I was actually very much the odd one out, but we got on really well. But I did have to develop a lot of patience for the people that I was working with, and I learned how to collaborate, which is really important if you're working in a studio with people. Yeah.